Llorente. I'm a clinical program scientist with our oncology program. It basically manages our oncology program for whatever clinical trials we're running, ongoing and in the future. I have a Bachelor of Science from Human Biology, Health and Society. I graduated from Cornell, and right now I'm pursuing, I'm kind of seeing if I could go into public health or maybe get my MBA eventually. I'm currently in school part-time and juggling that with the workload. In the beginning it was somewhat of an adjustment, but after a while you kind of get the hang of it. I think it actually helps me better, the type of person I am. I like to be busy, so it kind of focuses you on what you need to do, whether it's for work or for school or personal life. So it helps in you kind of maintaining, being organized. It's actually good because I think when you go to school, graduate programs, whether it's an MBA or an MPH or wherever, I think what your work experience is a real value to the classroom experience too. Not just what you bring, but also your classmates. So from diverse backgrounds, a lot of people come from very different fields, like whether it's, some of them, we have many doctors, we have many people that's in the industry, we have many people that's in academia. So it's kind of a nice mix. My path, well, originally I was born in the Philippines, so from a very young age, I really wanted to actually be originally a physician and open up actually a clinic there eventually and move back, but things have changed now. So when I graduated from school, I needed to pay off some loans first, so that's why I needed to work, and I actually fell into clinical research. And I actually ended up loving it because it was a mix of really, not just business, but it's science, medicine, everything, and then actually application too. So you could actually make a difference. I fell into it because I needed to find a job before I actually went back to school, pay off some loans, and those there are the typical fields for, I think, pre-med is, you could go into lab work. I've done lab work too, but it was nice because I like, even though it's really important to kind of have the preclinical models, I prefer to work with people and applying that science to the people. So I think that's how I end up here. I think there's really no typical path. You could go, I think in the end it's like whatever you're interested in, you just have to keep an open mind, and that door will lead to something else, and you just hope for the best, work hard, and that's it, And I think you still, it's not like you end up here and that's it. You still have to kind of still progress and work hard and build on whatever you've built, the foundation you've built from there. I think the reality is actually a little bit more exciting in terms of the one thing that's a big difference. There's similarities in clinical research across companies, but I think the big difference coming from going to a smaller biotech company is that you have your hands in a lot of different things. I get to interact with all different types of departments that I would never been able to interact before in a bigger company because you kind of function in your own silos in your own little world. And I think that's what's great here. You could actually push things a lot further and really be collaborative and make, you could be a little bit more aggressive. So if there's something that they find preclinically that will help support our clinical trials, it's great, and then you share the information and the knowledge, and I think that's really important for advancement of medicines. So the basic skills, I think it would help to have a science background, although I don't think it's necessary, just as long as you have an interest in it. And I think the main thing is just to be really a people person, to be able to get along with people, be very organized, because you're kind of orchestrating a whole bunch of different things. So I think being organized, working with people well, with all the different groups that you work with internally and externally. The creative parts is really when there's something that goes wrong and you have to figure out how to fix it. I think that's where your creativity lies. If everything's going well and you planned it appropriately and everything's smooth, then there's really no creativity. Then it's the everyday thing. But in clinical trials, there's always something that goes wrong, and it's how you handle that. That's where creativity is. You know what it is? It's more seeing the implications of what your work how your work translates into the field. You know, because I've definitely worked in the labs, and you're kind of far off in the development process. But working in clinical research, one thing that's great, especially for the later stage development, like phase 3, phase 4s, you really see the impact of bringing this drug into the market. You see the patients that have benefited from it and that are thankful for it. And actually, just even like the potential that you can do better too, whether it's new drugs, new therapies, or continue in studying that drug. My favorite part of this job, I think working with a bunch of different types of people from different backgrounds, I think it's great. It gives me new perspectives sometimes, and I think it helps you do your job better. Because if you could gain their perspective on things, then you see what their goals are and what they're trying to create, and you could see that vision, and then you could help and move towards that way. So. I think the main thing is to be open-minded, to really figure out what you're really passionate about, and to really go after that, no matter whatever roadblocks there are, you know, just to keep going after that.